Shalom, shalom. Give me 1 second, Israel. We want to check the feed. Make sure we got sound and video clear. All right, we clear. I just want to make one quick adjustment. We're going to get started. Alrighty, we should be good to go now. Alrighty, Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we are led by the Commanding General YAHANNA. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth about the Bible and bringing so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans back to their culture, which is the Bible, man. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites of antiquity, man. The Israelites, that term Israelite shows up in the Bible over 1,000 times. Well, I think around 1,000 times. I'm not sure. But it shows up a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's safe to say that the Bible is about the Israelites. The Bible is written for the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? It's written by Israelites for the Israelites. And it's about the Israelites, which are black and brown people. You know what I'm saying? Since 1969, the I.S.U.P.K has been bringing black and brown people back to that truth. You know what I'm saying? Back to their culture. Which leads us to right now and today, man. This is the I.S.U.P.K. Houston, Galveston, Port Arthur, and Beaumont Friday Lashawan Qadash class, man. Lashawan meaning tongue, and Qadash meaning holy. The holy tongue, the native language of the Israelites, man. The Hebrew, which is our culture, man. The I.S.U.P.K brings us back to our culture every Friday, teaching us how to read, write, and speak the ancient Lashawan Qadash, the Hebrew, man. That's what we do today, man. The languages are such as English, Spanish, Creole, French, Patois. These languages we might think are our culture, but really they're not our culture, man, because these languages were given to us by our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? The language of the Hebrew, the Lashawan Qadash, is our culture. And that's what we spoke in the days of the Old Testament, before we were known as black and brown people, referred to as those byproducts. Yeah, man, without any further ado, we got to get it in, man. We got to get you right into class, man. Learn how to read, write, and speak the Hebrew. I'm going to direct the attention of the class to this chart over here, which is the alphabet. We're going to go over it. It's a lot. Give me 1 second. Get it right. I might have to be able to get it the best I can because we don't have Zoom feature right now. All right. That's the best I can get it. I know the view is not perfect. Just straighten it up a little bit. That's the best I can do. For now, that is. Until, you know what I'm saying, we can get some upgrades around here. This chart you see here, provided to us by, you know what I'm saying, the founding fathers of the I.S.U.P.K that did the research in the Hebrew, did the Hebrew research and the, you know what I'm saying, the geographical, and all the research necessary to devise this chart, which is the Hebrew alphabet, Lashawan Qadash. This up here is the ancient, or the paleo, and this down below is the Assyrian. It's the same 22 characters. You know what I'm saying? Both. They're just different symbols because they were derived in a different captivity. But it's the same language. You know In the Assyrian, you have to be mindful of these particular 5 letters here. If a word ending in one of these 5 letters, then instead of using the normal letter to end the word, you'll use this specific symbol down here for the letters. And that's ka, ma, na, pa, and kaza. And then in the ancient, you don't have to worry about that, but you have connectors, which you know what I'm saying, they assist in the pronunciation of the Hebrew words. Here you see Lasha and Wan. Lashawan, Qadash, not Dasha, but Dash. That's what the kind of connectors were. So let's go over it. Notice how we're going from right to left. Hebrew is read and written from right to left, not left to right. So yeah, let's go over it. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, sa, qua, ra, sha, and the. Already. It's the same thing down below. All 22 characters, I, all the way to the top. And they line up perfectly. Okay. You can find this chart on Google, or you can come to class and you'll be presented with a folder with all types of Hebrew language goodness. So that's that, man. Angle the camera back, and we're going to get started with class. All right. Straighten up a little bit. There we go. All right, man. Today we're going to be going over a kind of a refresher. It's not going to be exactly a beginner's level class, kind of intermediate. You know what I'm saying? But it's that milk that I went over, you know what I'm saying, not too long ago. And today, I know normally we, you know what I'm saying, I get some stuff on the board, and then I, you know what I'm saying, pause, then you can, you know what I'm saying, copy for the notes. But today, it's gonna be kind of an ongoing thing. So I encourage you to take notes, you know what I'm saying. That doesn't have to be necessarily how it looks on the board, but take notes as we go in your own fashion. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, we're going to be just going, there's a lot of information that we're going to be going. It's pretty much a recap, but we're going to be going over conjugations, man. Conjugations. That's today's class. So we're going to pretty much just go over all the different ways we conjugate. I know I went over nouns, verbs, and adjectives, and pronouns. That's what we're going to go over. You know, different ways to conjugate nouns, pronouns, and adjectives. You know what I'm saying? If you were privy to the prior classes on these, then you know it's a lot of information. All right. So let's start off with nouns and adjectives. Then we after nouns and adjectives, we're gonna end it all with pronouns and verbs. And then when nouns, adjectives, pronouns, verbs, you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to, with that and knowing the vocabulary, of course, you'll be able to, knowing the rules for these, the conjugation rules, and you'll be able to formulate sentences, man. And when you're able to formulate sentences, you're able to read Hebrew a little bit better, especially when remembering that chart. But you know what I'm saying? That's just the milk of Hebrew. That's the basics. If you know that much, then you pretty much it's safe. You could go about saying, yeah, I know how to read and speak Hebrew. You can say that if you understand what we're going over today. I'm gonna move a little fast, but not too fast. So again, you know what I'm saying? Take note as you know what I'm saying on your own pace. Nouns. Nouns are a place or thing. Adjectives, words used to modify nouns and sometimes verbs and other adjectives. All right. So we got our definitions of nouns. We got adjectives. Person, place, or thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Class today, we're gonna the main nouns we're gonna be using are two. We're gonna be using lion, and we're gonna be using brother. Lion and brother. And you'll see why I chose those as we go on. So, we're talking about conjugations, right? The two or the three different ways you conjugate these things are as follows. You conjugate them with gender, masculine or feminine. You conjugate them with definitiveness or definiteness. Definiteness. Define definiteness, which is using the or not. So gender, masculine and feminine is necessary because I'm gonna get into it, but this is the some words are different in masculine words are different than feminine words. Like I'm using a lion and brother because lion in Hebrew is labaya, but that's masculine, and in feminine it has a completely different word. So in feminine, it's so like I said that wrong. Lion is la maya, but in feminine is la baya, which is lioness. So words just like brother is ak, and sister is akwa. So feminine. Sometimes it's in nouns. We'll get to adjectives momentarily, but in nouns, feminine and masculine, you know what I'm saying? It's usually obvious when choosing the gender of the word or the noun. You know what I'm saying? It'll either be a boy or a girl, or something that a girl has or a girl does, or something that a boy has or a boy does. You know, it'll be a sex-related noun. But sometimes there is no, what they call it in the textbook, what do they call it? I forgot the term they use, but there's no definite rule for saying what the gender of a noun is. because sometimes, in an instance, like a city, or even saying the year, you know what I'm saying? The year will be feminine. The city will be feminine. Like what was the city in the Bible? Jericho, the city of Jericho. You know what I'm saying? And in the Hebrew, Jericho would be a feminine word. You know what I'm saying? But Jericho is not. You know what I'm saying? It's not a name of a woman. It's just the name of a city. But it's a feminine word. So sometimes the definite rule for gender. But you know what I'm saying? For the most cases, it'll be whatever sex that noun is. And definiteness, that's using the or not. Like when you say the general, you know you're talking about commanding general YAHANNA. But rather, as opposed to saying, you know what I'm saying, a general, which could be one of the, you know what I'm saying, other 6 generals. You know what I'm saying? But the general, that's the most formal of that. It makes it formal or not formal. The or not. So as we have gender, we have definiteness. I should have wrote those in blue. I'm gonna do that. Gender. And lastly, we got gender, definiteness or formality. And then lastly, we have plural or pluralization. And pluralization, you know what I'm saying? Also, we're going to get into it, but it stems from gender too. The pluralization of the word will have to do the way you conjugate it. Because remember, we're talking about conjugations today. The way you will conjugate a noun deals for pluralization deals with gender. So let's write these rules. We're gonna do nouns first, then we're gonna get in. So I kind of went over it, what I'm about to write down, but I'm gonna give a quick example over here too. So I'm gonna cut it in half for the example. I'm trying to be organized with the colors so it's not just in your face and everything. And I know I said that, you know what I'm saying, there won't be a time where you could pause and get it for your notes, but it's looking like, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, man. It's looking like there might be that. It might be it. It's just the way that I naturally like to teach. I like to teach organized. So it looks like there will be a way where you could just pause and get everything. But I'm gonna be going over things as we go. So you know what I'm saying, you can make little bullet points or whatever, but there will be a time where you can pause. So I here for the double mindedness. All right. So gender and conjugating nouns. So um, gender of noun is usually sex, but no labaya. So we got a word lion. Masculine is lamaya. Feminine is labaya. So a gender of a noun is usually from sex, but no definite rule. Whole word varies on gender. So we see we got the same word in masculine and feminine, two different words. Let's get that in Hebrew. Because this wouldn't be a Hebrew class if we didn't practice our Hebrew, right? So I'm just gonna do it because we got a lot to go over. When we practice in Hebrew, I'm just gonna do the ancient or the paleo. La, ba, yeah. Ba, yeah. La maya. La, ma, yeah. La, ma, yeah. La maya. Mm-hmm. So as you see, you know what I'm saying? This is just the rule for gender. But the definiteness and pluralization are based on gender. More so pluralization. But I'm just giving us rules. It's all going to tie in a conjugation later. We're just starting off with we're building up to, you know what I'm saying, the meat of the lesson. So definiteness. Now we're going to get some conjugation rules. So, the formality of noun based on using the or noun. Here, we know the is ha. So, we're using the word lion, right? The lion. Well, let's use general. I mean, that's what we got, right? That's not what we got, but what we said earlier. And we understand that formality makes a difference when you put it as far as the general or a general. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to use general. So here's what you do. You just add the word the, but you add it to the word as if it's part of the word. Here we see our prefix ha, which is the. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, my Idleline, Officer 5000, Taban Rawoban, for having this chart up here. This chart is useful every day. Not every day, but every week in the Lashawan Qadash. There's all of our prefixes, all of our suffixes. If we had enough room, we would go over our pronouns too, but we don't. This is the real important stuff, and I'm going over pronouns today in class before we get to verbs. They're definitely used in conjugation. Here we have our prefixes, I or I am, ba, in, da, which is supposed to be, okay, it says do, no sweat. That's what da is do. Ha is the. Wa is and, ya is he, Ka is as or like. La is to or for. You know what I'm saying? But we're on ha. The prefix ha, which means the formality of the word. So ha alawap is the general, whereas alawap is just general. Alawap is a masculine word. I believe in Hebrew it means Hebrew. I mean in English it means general, but it also means friend. You know what I'm saying? Or ally, which is a masculine word. To have ally and feminine would be a completely different word. You know, I doubt it would be general because you know what I'm saying. In the Bible, there's no such thing as a military leader that is a woman. But let's go to pluralization now. So we're gonna use lion. I should have used lion just to keep it. No, we're all good. So back to pluralization. I mean back to this which has to do with gender. So we're gonna use lion for pluralization. So let me get the rule. All right, I don't have enough room to get too much. I'm gonna get the Hebrew for Alawapim. Alawapim, I just cheated. But yeah. So lions. That's what I mean. All right. Red. I guess I was right when I said I'm no really time to pause and get the notes because we're just going over. We're flowing. You know what I'm saying? This is like the class. The notes for the class is flowing. So if you decide that you want to just pause, you're really gonna have to watch the whole class to get you know what I'm saying with the understanding of what the notes say. Because this is just a flow. It's too much to put on the board and then erase and then put back and whatnot. So we got pluralization. The nouns plural conjugation vary based on the gender. So lions, right? Not lion, but lions. And masculine is lamaya, right? Or in lamayam with the ma, lamayam is the pluralization of masculine lions. But feminine, labaya is one lioness, but labaya yun with na and not ma. Labaya yun is the pluralization of lionesses. So I'm going to write that rule underneath. Use yum. Here, you yun. So to pluralize a masculine noun, you add yum to the end. Ak is a plural is a masculine word meaning brother. Ak yum is multiple brothers. You pluralize ak with adding yum at the end. But akwath is a feminine word. It's meaning sister. So you don't say akwath yum because that's how you pluralize a masculine word. You say akwath yun with a na at the end. Akwath yun is how you pluralize feminine words. Make it sisters. All right. So that's our nouns, right? That's how you pretty much conjugate a noun. Now we're going to go to adjectives. So really, there's not going to be too much notes on the adjective side because the adjective, I'm going to give examples, but the adjectives, they have to match. Pretty much, that's the main thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be writing that 3 times. Gender has to match noun being modified. So, if I this not to get on no, I guess I have to act like Dr. Seuss and say the red lion. I can say the big lion, Gadol. That's how you say big, or Gadol really means great. So, the great lion. Let's get it. Well, I'll say the for the middle. We're going to get ahead of ourselves. So, great lion. Gadol Lamaya. So Gadol is the word that means great. Let me see if I can get some feminine words. I don't have any feminine words. So, I knew I was forgetting something. So, I believe this word is a masculine word, and some word, just like nouns, right? Just like now, I can't say, I believe, yeah, because yapa means beautiful, and this means great. So I would say the yapa labaya and gadol lamaya. snag. Okay, I know that's the rule, but I'm gonna have to come back to that. But pretty much what I'm trying to get at is the adjective, whatever word you're whatever noun you're modifying, the gender, the definiteness, and the pluralization all have to match that noun. But you know what I'm saying? Since the word of a noun, since the genders of the noun, you know what I'm saying, changes the whole word. You know what I'm saying? I forgot to study that. You know what I'm saying? Find out if the whole adjective will change or not. But you know what I'm saying? We're gonna just, because I know I read this in the textbook, so we're gonna just go with that, and then the rest will make a lot more sense as far as the conjugation. Because this first rule is not, it's just a general rule. It's not really conjugation. But you know what I'm saying, I will clear this up next class. This part right here. So we're gonna go on to definiteness. So definiteness. All right. So definiteness. I got definiteness of the noun will be added to the adjective. Here you see the great lion. So it's not the great the lion, but it's the great lion. The formality is almost in the formality is almost an adjective. You know what I'm saying when you think about it. So it's a compound adjective now. The great lion. And then pluralization, man. So so this is where it gets a little strange because we're used to English. But so I'm gonna say great lions, right? I'll have to say Gadol Yum. Gadol Yum. La Lama Yam. Or I'm gonna use Yapa. Yapa Yan. La Baya. La Baya Yan. I'm not really, I don't have enough space for the notes like I wanted. But here, let me get the pointer so we can just go. So I got Gadol Yum. That's the pluralization of Gadol, which is multiple great things. And La Maya Yum, which is the pluralization of lions, male lions. So Gadol Yum, La Maya Yum, great lions, all male. Gadol is masculine, La Maya is masculine. And they're both pluralized with Yum, the masculine pluralization. Now I have, down below, I have Yapayan, La Bayayan. Beautiful pluralized for multiple beautiful things, and lionesses pluralized for multiple lionesses. Multiple beautiful lionesses. Yapayan, not Yum, but Yapayan, La Bayayan. So now after seeing that, you know what I'm saying, these two things kind of make sense. And this goes for this too, because if you want to put some definiteness, definiteness, I think that's how you pronounce it, definiteness on the pluralization of Gadol or Yapa, you would say Ha Gadolim, the plural, the greatness, or not greatness, but the multiple great lions. Ha Gadolim, La Mayayim, or Ha Yapayan, La Payayan. So definiteness can be added here too, but here pluralization is basically based on the gender. Pluralization must match the noun as far as the conjugation. You can't have multiple lions without multiple great lions, or multiple lionesses without multiple beautiful lionesses. And then you can't have, you know what I'm saying, a lion, you can't have a adjective for a lion that's a male lion that's not a masculine adjective. And the same with a feminine. All right, so that's, you know what I'm saying, a quick recap on nouns and adjectives. Gender, definiteness, and pluralization are very much key. You know what I'm saying? And the conjugation, you know what I'm saying, is ha for definiteness and yum or yun for pluralization. And there's really no way to conjugate a noun for gender because the word is going to be different. All right, so now we're going to move on to, what do you call it? Pronouns and verbs. If we have enough time, we'll make a sentence with all four. And if you're a little lost, it's okay, because the reason you're lost today is because the vocabulary is key. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the words, the vocabulary for the Hebrew words is really the main thing. So you have to remember these words. Like, you have to know that lion is la baya and lioness is la. I'm saying lion is la maya and lioness is la baya. And know that, you know what I'm saying, brother is ak, sister is akwa. You know what I'm saying? You have to know these things. You have to know that Gadol is great and red is Arawam. And you have to know your nouns. You have to know your adjectives. You even have to know your verbs. You have to know how to say, you know what I'm saying, walk, which is halak. To walk is halak. You get to know how to say these things. Like another masculine word is king. You can't have a feminine king, because king itself is a word that's for men, which is malak. I guess I should know queen, huh? Like, I don't know how to say queen. But I'm sure it is on a list of common 100 verbs, common 100 nouns that we give out to brothers and sisters that come to class. You gotta make sure you have one. All you gotta do is show up. Show us you're serious about getting into your culture. You got 7701 West Belfry, man. Slide through. Every Friday, 8 to 9. All right. So now I'm about to get into, what do you call it? Verbs and pronouns. So real quick, I'm just going to go over the pronouns. What do we have? We got first person. No, I ain't do that right. First person. Second person. Third person. All right. So first person, right? Dealing with me and things that surround me. Talking about me and myself. You got, of course, I, right? That's first person. When I talk about myself, I'm talking in first person. And also we have we. When I talk about we, I'm talking about things about me and people around me, us. You know what I'm saying? That is first person. Second person, not me, but you. Me directly to one other person or even a group. So me to you, right? You or a group, right? Y'all. But it's not that simple because you have masculine and feminine. So now I'm going to put you, F for feminine, y'all, the F for feminine. And lastly, third person. Not me directly to you, but me to them. Those people, not necessarily me or not necessarily you, but them over there. Third person. So we got he, right? He, him over there, which is definitely masculine. Her, which is feminine. Or they. Or they. Feminine. And that's really all of the pronouns. He or I, we, you, y'all, he, her, and they. But you see, for y'all and you and they is changes with feminine and masculine. So Let's get it. Let's get some examples up here. All right. So I. How to say I in Hebrew? Is Anya. Anya. Right here. Say Anya. I am tired, or I don't remember how to say tired. Let's say I am strong. I am strong. Yeah. Kazak. Kazak meaning strong. We put the prefix or I am. So Anya Kazak. I am strong. And that's an adjective too. That's a different type of adjective. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't come right before the noun, but more after the noun. Forgot the name of it, but it's the adjective that comes after the noun. Because I would be the noun, and strong comes after I. But yeah. So we got. I'm not gonna go too deep into that stuff. So lucky. But we a knock. Know what? It's a big word. But that's how you say we. A knock. Know what? Keep going. You a thumb. Y'all a thumb. It's almost like a conjugation, but it's just a different word. It's just a different word. It's similar to the conjugation for pluralization, because you or y'all is making plural yous, right? It's similar, but it's a different word. Remember that. So you feminine is there is no you feminine. So like you messed up on that. Same thing. So really, I can erase this. And the reason there is no you feminine is because I should have wrote that in the notes for nouns, but masculinity is the common. I hate to word it this way, but masculinity is the it's the it's the it's the common ground when making nouns. You know what I'm saying? You'll always lean to masculine. You know what I'm saying? You and there is no feminine. Like most words are masculine. You know what I'm saying? When there's a word that has to be feminine, then there'll be changes made. But most words and man, I was lucky if I should have wrote that down to 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 get the point across clear. But all I'm trying to say is that masculine words are the majority in Hebrew. It's the common denominator. Most of your words are gonna be masculine, and most of your conjugations, and you're always gonna lean on masculine words and conjugations more than anything. That'll be your go-to. But in some cases, they'll be feminine. Is what I'm trying to say. Like this, y'all feminine. If there's a group of sisters and one man, then you say a thumb. But if it's a group of men, you also say a thumb. But if it's a group of sisters only, then you got the case I'm trying to make. Like it's sometimes you have to say it's feminine. You have to put the femininity on it, which is a thumb. All right, just like her, we're gonna get into it. He is ha. haya'a. They, masculine, a group of men, or a group of people with men in there, women and men, all masculine. That's ham. But a group of all women, no men, they, plural feminine. Han. Alrighty, that is our pronouns. We got anya, anaknoa, for first person, I and we. Second person, you, atha, or y'all. Second person plural, y'all, a thumb. Y'all feminine. Second person plural feminine, a thun. Then third person, he, hawa'a, her, haya'a. They, third person plural. Masculine, ham. They, ham. Third person plural feminine. They, which is han. And then let's see if we got enough time to get it in Hebrew. Just for our practice, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get used to seeing. We're hearing how these words sound, and we're sounding it out with our verbalization. But we know what we're talking about when we're able to see the word in our own language, the Hebrew. And it looks like I'm out of time, really, so I can't even really get into verbs. But I guess I'll go. Verbs is really a class of its own. I'll go over verbs next week. Yeah, so we got just enough time to get the Hebrew. So anya, na, yeah, anya, anaknoa, na, cha, anak, na, wa, anak, na, wa. You see how I did that? Anak, no wa. A connector under making it the syllable by itself. Anak, this na and cha are connected, making nak, and then one by itself under na, and then one by itself under wa. Anak, no wa. And then we have you, atha. A thumb. A thumb. And then a thun. We have it. See what we got going on? Anya, a naknawa, a tha, a thumb, and a thun. We got to get used to seeing that language, man. That is our culture. That's the language we know. We are read in the Old Testament. And lastly, I'm gonna get the third person. Hawa'a. Haya'a. Y'all did that, not hama, but we got the connector under both of them. Ha and ma turn into ham. And lastly, the same with han. You can't really see the connector on that one because it's at the bottom, but that's how we do it like that. Alrighty, so we were able to cover nouns, adjectives, and a little bit of pronouns. Next week we're going to go over verbs, and we're going to make that sentence with all four conscious, you know what I'm saying, be able to, you know what I'm saying, but remember, vocabulary is key. So if you want to know how to say a word in Hebrew, either, you know what I'm saying, call the men above you and ask them. They'll be happy to tell you. Or you can do the work on your own. I recommend two-letter lookup. Two-letter lookup, or you can buy a Strong's Concordance. That's the real way to go. So with that, we're going to end class. I'm going to say Imadium, which means to stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, Imadium Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahweh Shemi Hawashah Barakatham, Yadi Matah, which means hands down. Turn and face the sisters. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imadium Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahweh Shema Alathan, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Yadi Matah, class dismissed.